Hi guys, welcome back to ET Live. I'm Deidre Behar. Today is a very exciting day. We've got the stars of A.X.L in the building. Give it up for Becky G and Alex Neustaedter.
Hey,
Show them some love. I'm so amped on this movie. It is so different. There's really nothing like this movie. Kind of explain it a little bit.
Yeah, so A.X.L, it's a military robotic dog that has AI capabilities, and it's a story about the dog and his relationship with this up-and-coming motocross racer, Miles Hill, and my character, and then we team up with Sarah, and we kind of form this group to try and, make sure this dog doesn't get into the wrong hands and stays out of those the evil minds.
Oh, yes,
Of course.
And Sarah, she is such a great female role. Why did you love doing it so much?
Because of that, because I felt like she was more than just a pretty face. She's self-made in a sense. She hasn't had the easiest path. And although she's, young, she has a very clear idea as to where she wants to go. There's a lot of obstacles to get there, and I think she's aware of that, but if there's one thing for sure, she knows who she is, and I love that about her.
I feel like you have that in common, very much.
Yeah, we definitely have, that little feistiness in common, for sure.
We love it. You guys, I want you to check out a clip. Check out the chemistry between these two. Take a look.
There you go. Flip it. You sure it'll be safe here?
Yeah, I think you should be fine tonight. No one really comes here except for me.
So you did all these?
Yeah.
They're amazing. You're really talented.
So really quickly before we get started, I want to remind everybody we are live on YouTube. Becky and Alex are going to be kind enough to take your fan questions. If you leave them below, I'll get this on this iPad and I will ask these lovely people all your burning questions. Of course, I have a few of my own before we get started on the fan questions. This movie is so cool. What was the audition process like? How did this land in your lap?
Well, I originally met with Oliver Daly, our director, and a few of the producers, and we just kind of talked about it and talked about the idea. So I met him before, and that was really helpful because I had an audition with like 10 people, all the producers and guys at Lakeshore, and it was just there was like 3 or 4 scenes that we did, and it was very nerve-wracking, of course, but it was cool. I mean, it was just a standard audition process, kind of, and then after that, I got a call maybe a couple days later or something like that I got it, and yeah, it was
celebration.
Really, yeah, very, very exciting. So
awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And for you, Miss Becky?
It's funny because the character breakdown and story breakdown and Oliver's first initial idea, like his short film, the concept video, was sent in an email while I was filming Power Rangers, actually. And I was in such a tug-of-war between my music career, my first time filming a movie. I was like, I don't know if I can do another one. Like, I don't know. I really want to, sit down with, the director and see what he has in mind for this character, Sarah. And so that's when I sat down with Oliver and we read through the script, and he was just really explaining to me, that there is a relatableness about Sarah because she has a similar story to a lot of us, Latina girls growing up here in the States. It's not easy being a brown girl, and I think that story of her and her mom kind of working for, this upper class American family and kind of just feeling like the help, and she lives on the property, and the idea of feeling like a guest in your own home is like it's like a
weird.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of contradicting feelings that come with that, but the fact that she was so strong, I think really, really reached out to me, and so I read and everything kind of the same, standard audition process, and then got the call a couple days later, and I was like, all right, let's do this.
I love it. Now look, I think when you audition for a part, it's always kind of like a gamble. Am I going to have chemistry with my co-star?
Yeah.
Did you do any screen tests beforehand?
We did.
Oh, you did do screen tests before.
Yeah. It was.
I don't remember. I think we had like a dinner, didn't we? Or like
Yeah.
a lunch or something like that.
Yeah.
Was it instant friendship and chemistry? Because I think anybody who watches the movie, you'll see it's really electric between the two of you. It really just kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally.
So what was it that you guys did off screen that really helped you master the on-screen chemistry?
I
their
think
hangouts?
Crafty conversations.
Yeah, I think
It always comes back to the snacks.
Yeah,
What
I think
kind,
it was
what kind of
just
snacks?
what kinds of snacks.
They had everything. It would change every day.
What was your favorite? I know they had nachos. They had nachos. They had popcorn
they had
machine.
the cheese thing. Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty. I've never had that before.
Clutch.
Never
I mean,
tried it.
everyday nachos.
Fancy
You
crafty.
never turn that down.
Oh, they
No.
always had this big thing of red vines too. I would always find
Yeah.
my hands reaching for the red vines.
Of course.
But yeah, I think the biggest thing too is like, I think what helped us bond was the fact that we were filming in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And there was like,
where was it?
literally, we were like in the middle of Camarillo,
Yeah,
in the
Simi
middle
Valley
of Simi
and-
Valley. Yeah.
In deep Simi Valley.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
So
a lot of night shoots.
a lot of night shoots, so you're trying to keep each other up. You're like, hey,
Yeah,
hey, you,
exactly.
hey, you. Yeah, no cell service. So you're like, well, I guess we have to be normal people and have
Right.
normal conversation and not
Exactly.
scroll through Instagram.
Right. It forces you to put the phone down.
Technology down, yes.
Well, it's so interesting because technology is a real huge theme in the movie.
Exactly.
What is your biggest social media regret?
Regret.
Regret, yes. I know it can be very dicey. You got to put your life out there for your fans. Is there anything you wish you could have done differently?
Well, I don't really have a social media.
Yeah, this
I know,
guy is
you're
like
not
an
on
old,
there.
old
Yeah,
man.
I'm not on
I'll
there.
You
never
have the
forget.
account. I see you have the
Yeah.
I
account.
have the accounts, but I don't use them. No.
Why?
I'm not a big. I can't do it right now. There's other things
It'll
I'd
come
rather
natural
be
to you,
focusing on, and ultimately I do probably want to use it for causes that I'm passionate about, like
Sure.
Oceana that I work with, and other companies. But I just find that I like to keep my private life separate from the work, and yeah, I just think that it works better for me right now.
Totally. I think it's a personal decision.
Oh,
It works well for
absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
I'm like, totally, I love sharing everything.
Well, following you is so much fun. I always
Good,
watch your
I'm
Instagram
glad.
stories. You're so generous with what you share with your fans.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would have done different?
No, there's nothing I would have done different. I mean, the truth is that, it's a blessing and a curse, social media,
Totally.
period. I think one thing that I've really been reflecting on lately is that, I choose what I share with my fans, and there's special moments to me that I share with them, but at the same time, I want them to know that that's not all of my life.
It's a portion.
It's a very small, microscopic, filtered, edited, small, tiny glimpse into what I'm going through. And I think, there's this pressure to be perfect because of social media. There's this perception that we're always happy and we can only ever be happy. We're like not human beings.
Right.
You know?
It's just the highlights.
Superheroes,
Yeah.
super glitz and glammy all the time. And it's like the fact that I had to think twice back in the day is like if I wanted to like post pictures without makeup or, you know what I mean? Like I started to not care about those things anymore because the truth is that like I am me and I have to like accept that and love that. So if I can at least with the platform use it in a way to encourage people to take that route with social media, to share things that you choose to share, not because you think you have to. You know what I
Totally.
mean?
Is there anything that's completely off limits? You said that you only share certain microscopic portions.
I mean, not really for me. I post food pictures, latte pictures,
Yeah.
pictures of my boyfriend, pictures of
Yeah.
my family. I mean, I love that it's a direct connection to the public, to
fans.
my fans, because I believe too, like, no offense to the media, but sometimes they will do anything for a juicy story. And I think when you can clear the air and have no filter, and it's like your chance to speak to your fans directly, like that's what I like to use it for,
It's genuine.
Yeah, like an unfiltered thought.
Totally. Fan questions are rolling in. We're going to get through a few right now. Sam wants to know, what does A.X.L actually look like on set? It's a
How
cool
he does
question.
in the movie.
Yeah, he looks exactly like he does in the movie.
Not CGI.
No, it's not CGI. It's a real animatronic puppet that 3 people control, and it responds to anything you do because there's people that are controlling it, that are listening to you, actually. There's a person right above you, kind of in a
Below
jerry
you,
rig.
yeah.
There's one inside it. And there's a guy with like a remote control who controls his eyes and
His little
his mouth.
ears.
And,
How cool,
yeah.
how cool as actors? You didn't have to like
the
do the
best.
dots on the face and
yeah.
you weren't on a green screen.
It was really real,
Very
and you like
interactive.
you could feel that he had a personality. It wasn't,
Yeah.
which is so important. A lot of times CGI it doesn't really give that same effect.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's really cool that we had that.
He was a little scary, but he was so cute.
He was also adorable.
Yeah.
I think that what's so amazing about the story is that it really is inspired by that just straight general idea of a man and a man's best friend, which is the dog. And in this case, the dog is a robot.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about him is that he has a mind of his own and a heart. Like, he actually cares for us, and he's a great wingman. I mean, there's a great scene in the movie where he just knows that Miles is feeling Sarah a little bit, and he just needs a little extra push, you know? So he plays DJ and, like, gets the mood going.
Yeah, he's got your best interest
He's
at
got my back.
heart.
He's
Yes.
got my back.
He
for
sets
sure.
you up, for sure.
I love it. Becky wants to know, for Becky, will you be doing more movies, Becky?
I hope so. I
Yeah.
really love it. Yeah, I never trained or anything. I've never gone to like drama school.
You've never taken an acting class?
No. I mean, I definitely should. I hope my acting's okay in this movie.
Well, Alex, veteran actor, how do you think she did?
No, she did great. She
Thanks.
fits in perfectly.
Thank
yeah,
you.
and she just brings a good vibe, and you know, she's very charismatic and brings that feistiness to it. So it's
What's the
great,
word? A
yeah.
natural.
A natural.
true natural.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Another question, both of you can answer this one. We know how much you love Jennifer Lopez. Tonight she's being honored at the VMAs. How excited are you for her performance, and favorite J-Lo video ever?
Let's just
have a moment for Jennifer Lopez.
It's J-Lo, all right? Jenny from the
J-Lo.
block, okay? No, I think she deserves it. I think she is somebody who, I mean, just look at the blueprint of her career and every decision that she's made, and the fact that she does it all. Like, she's not just a singer, she's an actress, she's a dancer, she's an overall entertainer, producer, director. She's had clothing lines,
Mogul.
just overall, and she's a mom
Does it all.
of her two little
Effortlessly.
coconuts. They're
I love
the
the
cutest
coconuts.
thing ever. You know what I mean? Like, I admire her so much. I think she's dope.
I think you're modeling your career very similarly to hers.
Thank
You've kind of
you.
got your hand in everything. You're well on your way
I'm trying,
too.
you know.
Favorite J-Lo music video?
Oh, music video? Oh, I don't know.
Alex?
I have no idea. I'm not the person to ask. I'm sure I've seen a few.
fair
but
enough.
I don't know.
That don't cost a thing. You wanna spend like it's so. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I want to transition from A.X.L really quickly to Power Rangers.
Okay.
A little buzz in the news last week that there may be a sequel. Have you been approached? Would you want to?
Does camera want to zoom in closer to my face? I'm just kidding. I have no idea, actually. Like, I've seen, that's the thing is that because we still like talk in our little like family group chat, like all of us
cast?
Rangers. Yeah, no, I mean, everybody's now obviously working on different projects, and we like catch up every now and then. Where are you in the world today? And we, even a long time ago, even before like it was like made official or whatever, like people were like sending things, and we were like, I mean, ain't nobody called me yet. So they're doing one without us, and I don't know. So we have no idea.
Okay, so you have not
Whatsoever.
spoken with anyone official at
No.
this point.
But if it's with the same cast, like, I would love that. I love spending time with them. They were awesome. I learned so much. Yeah.
What do you want to see Trini do in the future?
It's so funny because it's actually kind of like an interesting thing, because obviously my character being one of the first superheroes of that age to be questioning her sexuality was like such a big deal, and it really bothered me that everybody's like, Trinity needs a hot girlfriend in number 2, and I was like, do you understand like how serious and how real what she's going through is, and how many more steps she has to go through before just getting like a hot girlfriend?
Yeah.
Like, no, like, how about that breakthrough moment at the campfire? There's 2 campfire scenes. At the
exactly.
campfire scene where she, says, like, this is the first time I've ever said this out loud, Then there's another thing. How's that conversation with her parents? And do they accept it? Do they not accept it? Does she get treated differently in school? Does she have a thing for Kimberly? Like, you don't know. There could be so many things that could happen before she just gets a hot girlfriend. So I would love for Trini to continue in this journey of self-discovery, to be more sure of herself. Because if that's one thing that I can say that was very different in the characters, is Trini was a tough girl who was masking you know, her confusion and how lost she was with being a tough girl, you know, whereas to Sarah, she's just a badass. She's just a tough girl, actually a tough girl. You know what I mean?
Yes. It sounds like the Power Rangers producers need to get you in the writer's room. You got a few ideas, girl.
Me, Elizabeth Banks, you know, we can make something happen.
Elizabeth, Becky's ready for you. I would love to see that happen, so
Yeah,
we'll keep
me
our
too.
fingers crossed. Josie wants to know, how was it working with each other on this movie?
It was fun. We had a good time.
Yeah.
I think going back to what we were saying earlier, just where we were shooting and the predicaments that we were in with the late nights and being in the middle of nowhere and the constant rain. It was like the wettest California winter
was
it's
so
ever been.
odd,
It was
yeah.
so strange.
I feel like those stories, though, make for great memories
Totally.
and filmmaking experiences,
Yeah,
right?
they do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like I think like just overall, like everybody who was casted to be in the film, like when we did like the big party scene, like
Yeah.
people were actually partying.
We had a
like,
good time.
We had such
Yeah.
a good
It was a
time.
good time.
There's a party scene in the movie when you guys go see it. It is so lit.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I felt like I was right there
Yeah,
partying
I
with
know.
you guys.
And they actually like the food, like most of the food was like real, like those big old pizzas.
Yeah.
Like those are real. Like we were able to eat those.
Oh my
Which is
God.
huge.
What a dream
Huge.
project. You get pizza, you get
Yes.
to act with each other. Your character, without spoiling anything, there are a few aggressive stunts that you had to tackle. Was that you, or did you have the help of a stunt coordinator?
The stunts as in the bike stunts,
Yes.
or
Movie magic,
no.
baby.
Movie magic.
Movie
No,
magic.
we
Magic,
had
baby.
we had two professional racers or riders, Tyler Berryman and A.X.L Hodges, who are some of the best.
Legends.
Yeah, they're incredible. So they did a lot of the big whips and a lot of the big jumps, and then some other stunt riders who are super talented and amazing that did a lot of the other stuff. They wouldn't really let me near the bike, sadly, because of insurance reasons, which was
Makes sense.
But I've ridden quite a few lately and got it back on them, so it's all good.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Your character got a little bruised up there for a second, and I got
Yeah.
a little nervous. Yeah,
I know.
but it's movie magic.
Movie magic.
It's
No
all
actors
good.
were harmed in the making of
This
A.X.L,
film.
everybody.
Yes, and no robot dogs were actually harmed either. You know,
None.
it's all
No.
just for.
It's all good.
Just
We're all
for the
good.
movie.
We're all
just
okay.
loved on. Yes. Queen, I got to tip my hat to you. You're just crushing the music scene.
Thank you.
Left and right. First of all, when is the collab going to happen between you two?
Yeah, you know, he's not a musician. He's a lover of music.
I'm gonna play a few chords, maybe.
You know, a little strum
I'll just keep
here and
listening
there.
to her kill it. That's all. I do.
Nah, thank you.
Maybe an acoustic myotis between the two of
Maybe
you.
that'd be fun. Why
Maybe.
not?
Super fun. But you know, I think it was you that told me in a previous interview that Jennifer Lopez actually gave you a great piece of advice to be yourself and stay in your own lane. And I
Yeah.
feel like 2018, we've just seen.
That actually sounds so funny. Like
Why?
when you say "stay in your own lane,"
well, like be you. Obviously,
J-Lo's like, "Do not come
Do
into
not come
my
to my
lane.
territory." No.
Come into my lane, you're gonna have a problem." I'm just kidding.
I know it's all love between the two of you. I think she meant just like
Totally.
own your
Totally.
authenticity.
No, 100%.
Don't
And
be
I-
me, be you.
Well, that's the thing is that I think especially with you know, I mean, I don't mean to sound like super crazy feminist. Like I think even feminist sounds like such a strong word. Like we shouldn't have to label ourselves for anything, but I'm definitely about empowering women in the industry, and I find that, you know, especially like going into the Latin space, like there's not a lot of us women.
No.
And
Count 'em on a hand.
they make it seem like there can only be one. And it's like we all have different stories and our paths have all been so different and we all represent different flags. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think we all deserve that respect, at least at the end of the day. And that was one thing that I admired about her was that, you know, she's so humble. I mean, the fact that she took time to take part in a cover of a song that I did of her song, you know, and to sit down with me in the studio and explain, you know, just stories of how this song was created and, you know, how important it is to like be a real artist, you know, like be involved in the decisions that are being made, because the truth is we're the face. We're the ones that have to go in front of the camera, you know, at the end of the day. We're the ones that have to jump on the stage, and if it doesn't mean anything to us, then eventually you start to get really tired. And you're going to get tired anyways because it's exhausting.
Sure.
But then other issues start to happen, you know, and she was like, it's about you. It's about being passionate about what you're doing. And if you're no longer passionate about it, then that's when you can know to walk away.
Of course. I think your passion has really come out in the smash singles that we've heard from you just this year alone. And as a woman, I have to tell you, I really sincerely appreciate that you're fighting the good fight about why can men sing these lyrics and I can't.
Totally.
And I think Sin Pijama, you did a really nice job about that.
Sin pijama, for translation, in English means without pajamas. So
It's
basically-
sexy.
Very
Oh,
sexy.
oh, whoa.
Yeah, there
This
you
video
go.
is so cool. I love this
Thank
video.
you.
Yeah.
That was my treatment.
It
everybody, You
was.
know?
That's such a cool video.
I got a little co-direct credit on that.
Yes, Queen.
Um,
But like, what is it that gets you so fired up and angry? And how are you working to change this narrative?
Well, because to me, like, and going back to like the word like feminist or whatever, like my definition of that is I think different than a lot of other people's.
Sure.
Because I'm not saying that we have to live in a girls only world. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying that maybe, you know, we don't have to be treated so differently. You know, why is it okay for a guy to have a bunch of half naked girls in their videos and not be a big deal, but when a woman decides to put on lingerie and be sexy and be cute and it's her decision, that's when it's like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. And so playing with that and then also putting a twist on it, which is that is a man's fantasy of what they think our sleepovers are, but at the end revealing the reality, which is sweats, onesies,
Face
masks,
masks.
snacks, sleeping, you know, like that. You know, it was fun to play with that because you're giving people something to talk about, but you're also saying, it's not real, you know? And that was just, since we made the song, I just knew this is what the video had to be. And we did just that.
You did it.
That's awesome.
You know, a lot of people love to pick your lyrics apart.
Oh, yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Those lyrics are done with intention? Are they meant to be
always.
tongue-in-cheek?
Always supposed to be. Yeah, because to me it's like I'm not curing any illnesses here. Like
It's entertainment.
You know what I mean? Like music should be fun, and if you don't like it too, it comes down to like taste. You know.
Definitely.
I can love country music and you could absolutely hate it, and that's okay. You know, we
Sure.
should be able to like at least respect each other's opinions. You know what I mean? So when people try to take what I say so literally, it's actually really funny to me because I'm like, you don't need to get your chonies in a twist, all right? Like it's not that big of a deal.
It's just a song.
Literally, yeah. So for me, it's actually more fun.
What do you say to people who say you can't be sexy and a feminist at the same time? I feel like that's something
I think that's so ridiculous. I think that's so ridiculous because who am I? Like, especially women already get, you know, put in boxes and so much pressure to look a certain way, to act a certain way, to just from society, and especially in Latinas, like since we're kids, like they tell us that we need to be good mothers, good wives, know how to, you know, iron the clothes and wash the dishes and cook the food, and that's all we can do. God forbid my daughter one day wants to be a lawyer, a teacher, a doctor, maybe even a pop star, you know what I mean? Like, we're told no since such a young age, but guys just get to, since they're kids, you know, in Latin culture, they get to run around and do as they please until they're adults and still act like boys, and it's not a big deal. And so for me, like, who am I as a woman to tell another woman? You know, if I was like, you know, I don't like your outfit right now, it's making me feel really uncomfortable. When you actually feel super...
Great in it.
Yeah, confident and cute and maybe sexy. I'm no one to tell you that. You know what I mean?
So you expect the same respect in return.
Exactly. That's kind of like, you know, treat others the way you want to be treated, and be careful with how you treat people because you won't like it when it's done the other way around.
Now, karma is an MFer sometimes.
Yes, for sure.
In the movie, your characters are linked together, but I know in real life you're very, very much booed up, if you want to say.
Yeah.
You know, 2 years with Sebastian. You posted the most beautiful tribute on Instagram, and I know you're not married, but it feels like you're very much in the honeymoon stage. Like, it's been 2 years, but you're just still so in love with each other.
I mean, I guess, yeah, there's like a honeymoon phase, but then there's just also like somebody actually being your friend too, and like actually just enjoying their company and like them being super supportive too. I mean, not every guy would be okay with like their girlfriend, you know, getting to kiss another guy in a movie.
100.
Hello.
Or Sin Pijama, he's very supportive of all facets of your
Alex
career.
is like, and sips to you. This just got
On
really
cue.
uncomfortable. No, you met Seb. He came to visit on
Yes,
set
that's
a
a cool
couple
dude.
times. Like, it's just nice to find somebody, like, in general, that's just awesome. Like, relationships should be a breath of fresh air and not like a chore or another thing you have to worry about. Like, it already takes a lot of work, you know, to communicate and keeping even though we live together, it's like a long distance relationship most times because he's traveling, you know, and they have away games and I'm traveling a lot. So it keeps things fresh, you know?
How is it living together? Was it a dance that you had to do, like, oh, I'm gonna be good at this, you're gonna be good at this?
I think you just go with the flow. It's funny because obviously being Mexican, like we don't move out until we're married. Like it's just like in our culture.
It's the cultural way, yes.
And I remember speaking to my grandparents about it, and they gave me their blessing because I wanted, you know, I don't want them to feel uncomfortable. I value, you know, family morals and those traditions and stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, y'all, you know, try before you buy. You know, like you gotta make sure that, you know, there's not things that drive you crazy. And there's a lot of things that I'm sure I do that he's surprised, you know, oh, it doesn't bother me that much, or the other way around, you know, you left the toilet seat up, oh, yeah,
We'll
sorry.
live with it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Are you thinking about the next step at all?
No.
No? Just
I
living?
mean, don't get me wrong. Of course, I'm not wasting my time here. But at the same time, it's like there's no guarantee in anything, really. And that's why I think we've made it as far as we have because we have that approach of, you know, enjoy it while we have it. Because the truth is you know, he works in a field that. On a field, get it?
Literally.
Literally.
Pun intended.
I know, I didn't actually try, but it just happened. He works in a field that literally, he can be in Europe tomorrow, you know, and have to play there for a couple years. And all I can promise really is that we'll try, you know, and I think that's actually really beautiful because it makes you appreciate every moment that you have with that person.
And same for you. You could be in Europe tomorrow.
Usually I'm everywhere. So.
Yeah, everywhere. Alex, I got to put you on the spot. Is there a lucky lady out there?
You know, I don't ever take anything. I'm not taking it too seriously.
Okay.
So, you know, there's a girl, but you know, it's not. I know, right? Reversal.
There is a girl.
There's a girl, but you know, it's nothing is too serious right now though. But it's fun, you know. It's all
fun.
good.
See,
it's
that's
all
so
good.
important.
We're all
Should
doing our
always.
best, right? We're
I love
just
that.
going with the flow.
Is
so.
she an actress? I think it's cool that you're the pop star, Sebastian's an athlete. Like you understand each other's worlds, but you're different. How do you feel about dating within your field?
I think it can be cool. I think it's good, you know. It's always good to have somebody that you can relate with, you know.
Share the stories.
Yeah, and it's also good to have someone that's completely different and doesn't remind you of anything and can just
disconnect.
Shut that side off sometimes.
Exactly.
Totally.
So I think there's the best of both worlds for sure.
Well, I'm very happy for both of you. Very exciting.
Thank you.
I do have to ask you before we wrap up. I know that Demi Lovato was a tour mate of yours a couple years ago, and she's going through a little bit of a rough time right now, and we're just wondering if you've spoken with her and how she's doing.
Happy birthday, first off, to
Happy
Demi.
26th to Demi.
Happy birthday. I actually saw her sister's post and it made me super emotional. I mean, it's something super personal. I'm not gonna lie, it's something super personal, and what I can say is that I'm happy that she's, you know, on the right path to recovery. And the truth is, recovery is never over for someone who's going through what she's going through. And you know, not a lot of people know this, but it's something really close to my heart because I have a family member who suffers of the same thing. And I say suffer because it really affects them and it affects everyone around them. And it's a sad thing, but I also think that, you know, on the other side to that, when you can overcome something, and not only that, but share it in front of the world, because that's another thing that I applaud her for, and I've always admired about her. She's so real. She's
so
always
honest.
been so honest, and like literally behind the scenes too. Like I've had many experiences with her where she's just so chill and just so authentically herself, and literally like just dealing with the idea that the whole world thinks they know your life better than you yourself and you're living it, you know, that's really hard. So I applaud her so much for going through this in front of the entire world and continuing to still be that true, honest self that she is, you know, because she's a dope chick. She's just so talented and, you know, has an amazing family. So I applaud all of them. I'm really, you know, praying. I think about it on a daily basis because I'm going through it myself.
Have you spoken with her? Have you texted?
I definitely reached out to, you know, send my best, especially to her family. Again, me being a family member of someone who's going through the same thing.
You get it.
I get it. I totally get it. I mean, I can't say exactly, you know, everyone's path in life is very different. But in my personal experience dealing with it, you know, firsthand, it's really hard. It's really hard.
Well, the two of you together on tour is an absolute blast. I would love to see the two of you link up for like
Definitely.
a girl power
I would love
anthem.
that. I would
Like,
really love that.
Let's put that into the universe.
Yes.
Good vibes.
We got to wrap up really quick. Number one reason people should go see A.X.L this weekend in theaters.
Well, I think it's a great family movie.
We're in it.
And I think we're in it. And who doesn't want to see us together?
You need nothing more than these two
yeah,
faces.
it's super fun.
Yeah.
But also this dog is so cool, and mixed with the motocross world, it's super exciting, and it's just super fun to go see with everybody in a, you know, a theater environment when you're really immersed in it. So yeah, it's just super fun. Good movie, yeah.
Miss Becky?
Yeah, I mean, basically what he said, I think there's a relatableness to the film that it makes it a film for everyone. It's definitely family friendly. Lots of action. There's a little love story in there that's also
It's
really
got everything.
sweet.
You gave
It's
us
gonna
it
make the
all.
girls, you know, squeal a little bit. I definitely squealed when I watched it. And
There's-
I was in it. So.
There's a lot of eye candy. I've seen the movie. There's a lot of good-looking people, and it took me on a real roller coaster,
Good,
like
I'm glad.
high-octane
I
ride.
hope everyone
Good.
enjoys it.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be a wild ride. Go see A.X.L in theaters this weekend. You can keep up with Becky and Alex. Well, not really Alex on social media. We'll
He's gonna
work on
disappear.
it. Oh, and real quick, plans to drop an album?
That's the thing. I feel like, oh my God, my fans are watching this and they're gonna kill me because they're like, soon. We've heard soon so long. At this point, I don't even want to talk about it because there's so many things beyond my control. Like my part is the creative part, which is to create great music. But also, I think one thing is I got signed at 14. And I'm 21 now, and I've never released an album, which is just crazy. But it's also, it goes to show where we are in the music industry and how the format has changed completely. The digital format now is more based for singles, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of established artists that are putting out, you know, bodies of work, and I as an artist would love to be able to do something like that. But again, it's like totally beyond my control. I'm like signed to 3 different record labels, and English, Spanish, and people have says and stuff that I, you know, eventually would want to do, but just don't know. I don't know.
More English music?
Yes, more English music for sure.
Okay.
Definitely.
Zooted is a banger. We love it.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Go see A.X.L in theaters this weekend. I'm Deidre Behar. We'll see you next time. Bye.